to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How y'all day going? Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling. I enjoy y'all day on a productive day. We back at it. Before I start, y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, turn the post notifications on. Want to find me on any other platform? My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visually. Follow my TikTok at LOE.visuals. And follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. So let's talk about it. So, Sebastian Fundora retains his title after a dominant 7th round, corner stoppage of Tszyu. In all honesty, it was heading to be a banger. Respectfully, I thought Tszyu was gonna stay on his feet, and continue fighting, but I guess it was too much and quit on the stool, and that kind of because, the announcers, that's all they did was, go at Tszyu's warrior spirit. And I don't usually see warriors quit on the stool, respectfully. And that was the first thing he said in that post-interview, oh, this guy's a warrior. I guess, man. But, maybe I'm a little salty because I thought the fight was going to go to decision. But, it was, different type of style from Sebastian Fundora that we usually don't see. He came out and he was using that reach, putting a jab in his face, countering very well, throwing a straight left, and he was very on target with his shots. And it seemed like, Tszyu, he was trying to rush in, but he was going about it the wrong way. He was trying to throw that right hand, right cross, but if he possibly would have jabbed a little bit more, he probably would have had way more success. And he was actually landing that shot. He was landing that shot, but he wasn't jabbing, and that was an issue. So, he would throw that cross and eventually start to get countered. And that's what it was. It was an accumulation of punishment, from Sebastian Fundora. And if he could, stay adjusted to fighting how he's fighting now, I could see him being a problem. I could see him being a problem, and sticking around for a while. I can't just sit here and lie and say he didn't look good, but Tszyu in the first fight, I still thought that Sebastian Fundora was gonna win the first fight. A lot of people thought that Tszyu was gonna, Tszyu was doing well. Even though he was doing well, I still thought Sebastian Fundora was gonna win, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think Tszyu didn't go about this fight the right way. I don't know. Maybe he thought that the success he had in that first fight was gonna be, going and transition into this fight, which it didn't. And I don't think he really, had the great game plan. I don't think he was adjusted to seeing Sebastian Fundora, fight, on the, outside and use his lane. Because, usually, a guy like Sebastian Fundora who doesn't jab, and stays in the pocket and, doesn't use his reach, he's more susceptible to getting hit. But this fight, he kind of stood back there and popped that jab out there. And, he was basically on target with everything he threw. His left hand was money. And I got to give him credit. I'm not going to sit there and hate, I felt like, Tszyu wasn't, I don't think Tszyu had a good game plan, and I don't think his coaches adjusted as far as the fight. Once they seen, Fundora kind of boxing and stand on the outside, they should have told Tszyu, like, look, we can't be, jumping in and trying to, launch in and try to, you can't. It was never good. You have to jab your way inside and then, see if you can work. Because that's what he was trying to do, just, lunge in, and he was getting caught, and it didn't look good. And a lot of people try to, give him super credit, but I got to call it down. He quit on the stool, because, I thought he can still go, I thought he had a lot left. But, and I understand, you're trying to, maintain health. I respect it, but and that fight had potential to be, respectfully, it had potential to be like the banger of the night because they were giving us good rounds, and it was a lot of back and forth. But Sebastian Fundora was getting the better of the work, but it was back and forth, and it was exciting. But it is what it is. I can't respect Tszyu for that, but he's probably gonna take some time off. I don't see him just jumping back into the fire after taking a loss like that. I mean, it's not really nothing I want to see him do, respectfully, at this point. But so he's gonna chill and take his time away from the sport. A lot of people say he should take a few years off, but I don't think he should take a few. Maybe a year. That'll be fine. And come back, take a tune up maybe. But I don't think two years or something like that. Nah, he shouldn't do that. Not at all. But he just I don't think he was expected a better Fundora. I'm pretty sure he expected that he was gonna get the same Fundora that he got, but this is a different Fundora. Boxing on the outside. A guy that usually never jabs. So, I mean, what can Tszyu do? He can't really say anything. I guess he's going to take that loss on the chin. But I think Fundora can build on his win. But, PBC is going to make him, do some cowardly things. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't fight Bakram. That's possibly not going to happen. So, I want to see what he does at 54, as far as Sebastian Fundora. Because there's a lot of things that he could do. But I just don't, want to see him go fight a bum. I would love to see him fight Bakram, but I don't think the money's gonna be super big and make him it's not gonna be enough to make him jump at the opportunity. So he's probably gonna avoid Bakram and try to find a bigger payday. Boost is moving up. I wonder that would be a smooth fight, but it's Virgil Ortiz. It's still a lot for him to do. That would be exciting for me at 54 for him. So I want to see what Sebastian Fundora does. I'm kind of shocked this because I can't really. I'm kind of mad at Tszyu because he kind of quit on a banger. They were making a good fight, and you don't really rarely get to see good fights in boxing. At this point in time. So when you see one of those like this could be a banger and the guy quits on the stool. And all the commentators did all night long. Yeah, Tszyu was a warrior, and and I think the damage he took in that first fight was substantially more than this fight. Even though I feel like he got hit cleaner in this second fight than he did as far as that first fight, he just caught an elbow, but that elbow with that gash was crazy. I just think he was getting hit with some clean shots from the outside by Sebastian Fundora. So, I guess, the willpower left. And, guys just call it quits. It is what it is. I'm not going to kill him to death, but it does look like it, respectfully, But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. You can find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visually. Follow my TikTok at LOE.visuals. Follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. Make sure y'all smash the like button. The like button keeps me on the algorithm. Hit that sub button for me. Give me the 10K. That's all we worry about this year. That's the goal. Getting the 10K, grinding the 10K. I love you guys so much. I'm out.